Basically, it's Deontay Wilder versus Audley Harrison. What do you guys think about the fight? Come on, Apollo. What do you think?
Well, I think Audley, how did it go? Who is it that knocked him down? Audley admitted that Deontay knocked him down in sparring.
Yeah, well, we don't actually know, do we? Because it's come back out that apparently that might not have been true. Someone else said that, someone else said that they definitely saw Deontay go down.
Well, it's hard, if somebody's saying, it's hard for me to take it seriously because I do not know who it is, and if Audley himself said Deontay knocked me down, which is what I've heard which is what I've read that he said, I've got to take that very seriously. So, personally, I give Audley, I respect the fact that he's going to take the guy on, but personally, I just think every time he takes on a puncher, like, it just seems to freeze. It seems, I think Audley's got a fear of getting hit. I mean, like I respect him. I'm not, I'm not someone who's going to insult the guy, but personally, I just think Wilder's going to stop him. Even though, don't get me wrong, even though Wilder hasn't picked the best opposition, I believe Wilder will stop Audley.
Errol?
Oh man, it's a good little fight. It's a good benchmark for Deontay Wilder. He's fighting a guy who just come off like I mean, it's not like the prize fight is not no big thing, but over in America. But he's come off a couple of wins, and he got knocked out by Price, and he's been in there with David Hay as well. So Deontay Wilder's over. I heard Deontay spar with him. I mean, Audley probably gone for the payday. I don't think Audley's thinking he can actually win. It might probably go a decision actually. I won't be surprised. It's all right fight. It's an interesting fight, It's a fight. I mean, if Audley wins, opens up doors. If Deontay Wilder wins, nothing really changed. And to be honest, nothing really changed. And it's just an interesting fight for the heavyweight division. You want to see this sort of heavyweight fight. Audley's proven that if he hits you, he can go down. So maybe it could be a knockout, or maybe it could be a snooze fest. But it's interesting. It's interesting. I haven't got if I really want to win, Deontay Wilder should win. But if he doesn't win, I'm not going to be surprised. And even if he does lose, it shows that he needs stuff to work on. And Audley hopefully can call out some of the names. Like I said, David Hay, Audley rematch, Audley Harrison rematch. That's all I want to see.
Chris?
Come on now.
Come on, Chris. What do you reckon?
Yeah, I think it's an intriguing fight. It's the most intriguing fight of the week for me. We find out how good Deontay Wilder is. We already know how shit Audley Harrison is. But it's a bit of a no-win fight for Deontay Wilder as well.
Yeah.
Well, no, one thing I will say is he's coming here, he's fighting the person all the UK hate. So we'll be getting some fans on the back from hoping that, they knock him out. But another thing he's going to find out is there's going to be a lot of people who really want, Deontay Wilder to lose in this fight. Because don't forget, Audley Harrison's our piece of shit. He's the one we hate. He's not allowed to. He's an American. He can fuck off. That's what some people are going to be thinking. So, how competitive do you guys think this match is going to be, Chris?
It could be competitive if Audley decides he wants to fight. If he turns up to fight, it could be a very good fight. But his track record says every time he's upped in class, he gets knocked out. So I'm a bit worried on that part. I just wonder, the opposition that Wilder's beaten, it's not up to much.
True. Errol?
It's a strange one, It's the thing is, why are they even taking this fight? I mean, it's a crossroads fight. I mean, Audley was helping him out. I mean, Deontay Wilder was helping him Audley for the prize fighter. It's a fight that I think is a money fight, really and truly. I don't think, to be honest with you, depending on the outcome, it doesn't really change anything. Audley seems like he's turning to spot. What do you call it? Journeyman mode. Mm-hmm. Even though he just won the prize fight, but he seems like he needs the money, man. I know he's got an expensive woman, and maybe he needs a bill. Maybe it is because you can't really see him winning this spot. But it's interesting. It's just it's interesting. Let's see what happens in it.
Apollo, do you think it's going to be competitive?
I'm trying to think. I mean, I'm leaning. I'm probably going to say no, but I think the thing with Wilder, even though he hasn't fought, you look at some of the guys he fought, they're small, fat, no disrespect. But I think the thing is, when you actually look at Wilder, he is a massive, muscular, quite intimidating man. So I think once Audley takes a look at him, I mean, if you put it like this, and also I know Mark, I know you're a David Price fan. Listen, I don't care what you say about Price. Price is not looking at him. He's not as intimidating as Wilder is. Now, if Audley throws the way he's, looking at the way he throws against David Price, I really don't. I think the same thing's going to happen. I think the thing with someone like Hayes obviously, he's a bit smaller, so that's why Audley made it awkward for him. It took Hay a while to get the shots in against Wilder because the thing is, actually, Wilder's bigger. He's bigger, isn't he?
Mhm.
Yeah. I think once he goes for Audley, I think Audley's just going to cave in. So I'm going to say no. It's not going to be a competitive fight.
Yeah.
Okay, so you guys cannot see Audley Howson winning this fight? Apollo?
No.
We'll start with Apollo. Can you see any way Audley's going to win this fight?
Oh yeah, of
No.
course. I mean, of course he could win the fight if, obviously the main thing is the competition. 'Cause, some of the guys that he fought, like I say, if you look at their physical bodies, I haven't seen every single one of his fights. They're not athletes the way Audley is. So, it could be a case Audley is a step up. So, it's not, of course, if I had to put a percentage, I'm going to say 70-30 in Deontay's favour. So to answer the question, how could Audley win? Your experience, walk Wilder onto something. The way he snapped some of those people in price fire, stepped back and then stepped back in with the shot. I think he could win, but my prediction's Wilder by stoppage.
Okay, Errol?
What was the question, sorry?
Right, can you see any way that Audley can win this fight?
Nah. I can't. I actually really like Audley, but I just think as soon as Deontay Wilder is not intimidated by Audley, starts landing punches, Audley's just gonna crumble, man. And Audley, you look at him and think, well, it's Audley. Whoever hits first, Audley. I see Audley crumbling. I can't see Audley winning the fight, man. I actually really do like Audley.
Mhm.
I just can't see him winning the fight, seriously. And I usually I'm on it, but it's like nah. But if he does, I'm not gonna be shocked. It's just one of them ones that I'm not really bothered either way. Seriously.
Really? No, you're not even.
Nah, because he doesn't change anything. He doesn't shake up anything. Don't see why loses. He just needs experience.
No,
And
whoa. We'll come back to that in a minute. Let's just save that for the next question, mate. Let's save that. Let's save that for the next question. Chris, do you see any way that Audley can win this fight?
Yeah, I think after round one we'll know all about Audley, whether he wants to fight or whether he don't want to fight. The longer it goes, the more I see Audley winning. If it's an early stoppage either way, I think it will definitely be for Wilder.
Yep.
But after 6 rounds, it's an open fight.
Good point, It's a good point.
There's no point in saying that Wilder's a miles better boxer than Harrison, because it's not true. Oz Harrison's a good boxer himself when he decides he wants to.
True, yeah. So, Errol, we just stopped you in mid-flow there. Now, what was it you were saying again?
What about what? If you don't see why he loses.
Oh, okay, here we go. Yeah, that's the one, right. We'll come back to you in a minute, Errol. Right, we'll start with Chris. We'll start with Chris. If Deontay Wilder was to lose this fight, how catastrophic is that for his career, Chris?
Yeah, it'd be a terrible loss on his record. I mean, the guy's had 27 fights. I know they've been perfect and against absolute mugs, but he's had 27 fights. He's won them all by KO. He's a proper hype job. I think he'd be dead in water pretty much. He'd still be alright to fight on, but he'd be pretty dead.
Ooh, really? Well, go on, Errol. What do you think? You think it won't change?
Nah, man. I don't think it's a big step back, man. It's just like, he got out of class. You just look at it, look at things and think, well, boy, I need to change stuff, I need to change things, I don't think it's a big step back. Really and truly, it doesn't do anything. None of them are contenders for the belt. They're not even in the top 5. I mean, you could Deontay Wilder. It's a gamble, but it's a calculated one. He could lose this, and and still get shot. Because what happened is, let's say he loses and gets knocked out, yeah? What's the worst thing that happen? The Klitschko's going to call him.
Well, he's not in any of the top 10. He's not in any of the top 10 for any of the belts.
But the moment you lose and then lose in a certain way, like Tyson Fury, like that fight against Steve Cunningham, yeah, the way he got floored and everything like that, everyone's calling him out now. Everyone's calling him out now. So if Deontay loses, it'll just open up more doors for him because people think, oh, he's done now. Let me go in there and feel I can knock him out. That's how it is. If he wins, people stay away from him. And they still say it's a hype job. Do you know what I mean? So it doesn't change anything.
Well,
look at his ranking though. He's ranked below Fury. He's had 27 fights. It's not like he's been put in fights he's ever been going to lose.
Yeah, but where's Fury ranked? Fury's not even ranked him. He's not ranked high himself, is he?
Well, he's in a eliminator for 2 of the titles.
He was eliminated for WBC. Jumped to IBF. You know what I mean? None of them, like the Klitschko's, don't want to give him a shot. They might give him a shot now. I mean, he hasn't looked. The people like Jonathan Banks. That's what I want to see. Someone go against one of them guys, yeah. But at the minute now, nothing. There's no big chess moves. There's no big moves. Even Tyson Fury beating Cunningham. What is that? What's that achieved? He hasn't achieved anything. Made him look like a bloody donut out here, if anything.
Apollo, what do you reckon if Deontay wants to lose to Wilder? I mean, if Deontay lose to Audley, what would happen?
Audley.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it would be disastrous, you know.
I agree.
It takes his record away. I mean, right now, like if he stopped Audley, he is a very viable shot for the Klitschko. You know, he would be very likely to get that Klitschko fight. If he got stopped, however, I think that fight is off the table forever, gone.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think it will pretty much it will destroy his career. You know, unless he would have to do a lot. But to be honest, you got to remember, I think mentally as well, when you're knocking everybody out, if you then, if you then get stopped yourself, it will just mentally, it's like, it will break him, So, let me just answer the question. Yeah, it will be the end of his career, I believe that. It will be the end.
Could be. I mean, if you get beat by someone who's contending for titles, that's all right because you can come back. Yeah.
Mm.
If you lose to someone who's not contending, there's going to take a lot of good promoting to get you back up there. You have to take a lot of hard fights too. And I don't know if, to be honest, I don't know if Deontay wants to take a lot of hard fights. I mean, there's no particular evidence that he wants to right now.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you look at the evidence is he's fighting Audley Addison. If he loses to, that's his best opponent to date. If he loses that, I don't see, if he's going to go take a few steps back. Can you take steps back? I don't know.
Yeah, you can. At this stage, you can.
He can take steps back. He's 27-0. He loses to Audley Harrison, who's domestic level. Yeah.
Yeah.
You can see him going. What's below domestic level?
No, but look, man, he's in the setting where Al Heyman, all them guys there, and like I said to you, man, look, they could lose a fight and doors are open. You keep winning, it's like, bro, it's a slow crawl. You know, and that's how things work. It's like you're a threat, and they don't know part of you. You know, remember you look vulnerable. Everyone your doors are. I'm sure they get a lot of offers.
Okay.
I saw an interview the other day about, I think the video last like a couple of weeks ago of him. He was talking. He was saying no one wants to fight him. That's what he was saying. No, he gets offered, but no one wants to fight him. He offers a lot of people out, but they don't want to fight him. So if he gets flattened or anything, like I said to you, it will be good for him. And he'll learn that he obviously needs to work on stuff. But I think Audley's just taking this for a payday, to be honest with you, I can't see any other reason why Audley's has chose him. He sparred with him. He's like, oh yeah, I should fight him now.
Okay, well, we'll go on that. Chris, why do you think he picked him to fight? Audley's picked Wilder to fight him.
I'd agree with Errol. Audley is after money, definitely after money. Yeah. But if he were to win, I mean, this would propel him, getting back in the public's interest. He's beating a prospect, a 27-0 guy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is a big fight for Audley. It's not a big fight for Wilder. This is a lose-lose fight for Wilder.
Yeah.
What do you think, Apollo?
I guess I agree with Chris. I think it is a case of, Audley, this is a young guy, like a young undefeated guy that Audley's taken on. Even though Wilder's not really ranked highly at the moment. I mean, but obviously the thing is, you've got like this big muscular guy who's, stopping everyone. Yeah, it's a good name. It's a good name to have on the record. Keep busy, get a payday out of it. And I think the thing is with Audley right now, it's not really, there's not enough of, I mean, I don't know what it is he wants to do. He says he wants to become champion or whatever. He says he wants to get a Hay rematch. But I think the thing, there's not really much of a push for Audley. There's not really much public, okay, you know, you won prize fighter, but he needs something else on top of that. And I think it was, you know, I think it was available to him. So, yeah, he thought, why not?
hmm Do you not think maybe that, you know, they have sparred, maybe Audley saw something in him in sparring that he thought he can take advantage of? Open question.
Let me see.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
But I think I probably. But the thing is, yeah, he's let's look at it, right? So his comeback fight recently is Price, right? And probably didn't get no big money out of that. And next fight after that was a prize fighter, and you know it's a popular money, yeah. He got himself in shape as one, and now he's going to Deontay Wilder. That's a payday. He's just fighting for pay. I mean, if he wins, he wins. If he doesn't, he doesn't. He's up for sale, mate. You know what I mean? He's up for sale. He's just looking for the next payday. I think he's trying to cash out. He seems like he really needs the money, man. He's got himself in a pickle. He really needs the dough, innit?
I don't know. I mean,
he's got himself in great shape. I'm not knocking that, but it seems like I don't know if I question the levels as well. I mean, Deontay Wilder is no joke, innit? He could flatten him in a way. I mean, you're getting a guy who could potentially finish you, could really end you. You know what I mean?
well, that's what he's saying he's going to do, Wilder. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Wilder's also said he's had 2 weeks to train for the fight, hasn't he?
Oh, that's the next question, Chris. Don't you worry about that. I mean, well, we'll start with you now, Chris. How do you feel about Deontay Wilder saying he's only done 2 weeks training?
That is getting your excuses in early. That is exactly what it is. It's just in case he's covering his arse. Because he's not sure. Maybe he's seen something inspiring that Harrison's got.
Maybe, you know, I mean, let's be honest, you know, I think Audley's the better boxer of the two. You know, Wilder, he even said himself, you know, he started late in boxing, so Audley's seen more than him. Maybe he's, you know, maybe he is getting his excuses in early. What do you think, Errol?
Yeah. I mean, all them stuff they saying, yeah, they got excuses. They always have things already. They don't like, you know, they're sort of people boxers, you know, they're the worst losers anyway, you know. Yeah, probably getting excuse in it, but it's all money. Like Deontay Wilder doesn't need Audley Harrison. I think that Audley must have begged him for a fight. Go, come, give me a fight. I need to pay. Come on, give me the
about
fight.
that, mate. I mean,
yeah.
No,
Audley earned the right to fight a top prospect like that. I don't think so. What has he done to earn the right to fight a top prospect? Even though, regardless, he hasn't been challenged. He doesn't earn the right to fight him. What did he do to earn the right to fight Price?
well, nothing. He didn't.
Exactly.
Well,
So he's fighting for money.
Okay.
He might be fighting for money, but I mean, even his prize fight win, Golden Boy know that Harrison is known over here. America knows who Wilder Harrison is. He might not be well known, but they know him.
But you see, if they just spar together, I think he just needs. The boxers do that a lot of time, you know. They do that. It's like they beg. You know what I mean? He doesn't earn the right to fight him. There's no reason to fight him. Deontay does not have to fight Audley Harrison. Audley Harrison's put himself in a position and said, well, if I win the prize fight, you'll give me a fight. And then we'll give you a fight. He's just gonna get rolled over again, man.
But
No, I do expect that, you know, Audley will get beat up in this fight, but I can see, you know, I can actually visualize in my head just how, you know, Deontay Wilder could lose as well. You know, Apollo, what do you think? You know, 2 weeks training. Would you go into a fight with 2 weeks training?
No, of course not. You know, I think I don't know why he said it. I've heard him. I've read him say it. I think I really don't know what to say. I mean, it sounds silly. I mean, like I say, you really got to question the wisdom. Then why are you taking the fight? You know, you don't.
It doesn't have to.
Yeah, if you're not in the best position, you know, it's then don't take the fight. You know, or you know, I don't know what to say really. Yeah, I mean, not really much I can say. I thought, you know, in terms of what Chris said he's getting his excuses in early. That could be the case. I think, you know what, I think it's probably, my guess is, he's probably going to brag. I think that's what it is. You know, he stops Audley and then he's going to go, oh yeah, everyone look at this. I did that one only 2 weeks. Imagine if I had But I mean, that's how I see that. It's all, got nothing more to say.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I think, it's not something I want to hear if I'm placing a lot of money on it. I mean, would this be anything? Would this be what you guys want to hear if all of a sudden you had to put your house on one of them to win?
No.
Oh,
For sure, dear. No way, man.
I mean, if you put your life depending on the winner of this fight and you had to pick one or the other, your life depended on it. One guy saying, I've just had 2 weeks training. I don't want to hear that.
Who's had 2 weeks training?
Deontay Wilder.
But he's already in shape already, so that's fine. He's always in shape anyway.
Yeah, but you don't have to be. Training is not just about being in shape. Training is about your tactics. It's about how much. There's totally, like your boxing ability, sharpen it up because he's not used to, southpaws, different stuff like that. How much sparring you got in? Because if you've only done 2 weeks worth of sparring, that's not much.
I don't believe him. I don't believe him. He's you know what I mean? He's basically, if he's saying that, he's saying, he's not taking him seriously because he knows all he's going to get rolled over. You know what I mean? Even if he loses, it's like, boy, he didn't take him seriously, and even if he did, it's like, I don't really care about him. He's nothing.
You've got to mental preparation for this fight. To come out and say something like that, you've got to mentally prepare for any fight.
This is what I'm saying. He's not up for the fight. He's not up for this fight. He probably doesn't even want it. They spot. They get along pretty well. Probably doesn't like to fight him, innit? He doesn't want to fight him, probably. But he has to do what he has to do, innit? Probably likes Audley Harrison.
There's just another guy I remember who had to fight someone. I mean, Golden Boy literally made him fight him. Was Peter Quillen versus Winky Wright? Yeah. Everyone remember that fight? That was probably not one of Quillen's best fights in terms of performance. And he said, I didn't even want to fight the guy.
He knocked him down, innit?
I think he did, but he didn't. Yeah. He didn't fight brilliantly,
No.
It was not his breakout performance. It wasn't his best performance. Do you think maybe Deontay Wilder won't put in a very good performance?
Yeah, I can imagine that. That's what I see. Yeah, I can actually see that.
You can see Deontay Wilder not doing too well.
Yeah, I can see that. They're too friendly. Yeah, he had a good sparring with him. He got him ready for the prize fighter.
True. Yeah, I mean, what do you reckon, Chris?
Yeah, I mean, my key thing is preparation for this fight. I think definitely Audley's had better preparation. He's mentally prepared. Maybe Wilder takes him as a friend. Maybe he don't want to beat him up, but
no, he doesn't. Yeah. But he doesn't matter how much Audley gets in shape and this and that. He was in shape anyway. It's not that. It's just that he's too slow, and he can't take hits, man. Like Deontay Wilder, like just bombing on him. Like Audley could probably hit Deontay Wilder, and he probably could just take his shots. He's younger, he could just absorb them. Audley.
Ooh, do you reckon?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let's move on to that now. Let's move on to that. Do you think that... Chris, do you think Deontay Wilder could take Audley's best left hand?
No. If I just look at a man's legs, he's got stick legs. He's got legs that look like they want to wobble. He's got a big punch, Audley Harrison. He can hurt. He's got a genuine big punch. He's punched better opposition than Wilder.
Mm-hmm. And heavy.
He's very underrated in this fight.
Who's Audley knocked out?
He's knocked Michael Sprott out for one, hasn't
he? Yeah, Michael Sprott.
With one arm, mate.
Yeah, Michael Sprott's alright. He's just a journeyman plodder. Who else is already knocked out?
Enough people, mate. Do you want us to get a lift?
I know he's not dying, and I need no one impressive.
He's got 23 knockouts, doesn't he, out of 27 wins? It's not a bad record, though.
No, but against...
It might not be against top fighters, but it's still...
Yeah, exactly, so they're both the same. That's what I'm saying, they're both the same. What I'm saying is that Audley, because he's younger as well, he's just younger. I know you're saying that with Deontay Wilder, and there's question marks about this stuff, yeah? But I guarantee that he could take Audley's punches. They sparred, man. He felt his punches. He ain't got no problem. Like they sparred. I'm sure Audley tried to drop hard bombs, and he's like, this guy's nothing, man.
Maybe we don't know that. I mean,
I can guarantee. Listen, if you go to someone and you spar, it wasn't like Audley got Deontay Wilder to spar. Audley was a sparring partner for Deontay Wilder. That's what it was. Audley was in the camp sparring. Deontay Wilder was paying his bill. He was there to work on stuff. That's what it is. It's not the other way around. Don't be fooled by that.
Like I said, mate, I mean,
Yeah, you know what I mean?
it could be the case, but, you know,
That's what I'm saying,
once
yeah.
again, I don't know.
You think Audley had enough money? And let's bear in mind he had no money. You think Audley had enough money to pay for Deontay Wilder? He didn't. He was there like Deontay Wilder as a sponsor, was a sparring partner. And as you know, as a sparring partner, you work everything about them. You know everything about them. He's there for you to work on certain things, and that's why. Let me say he's a 2 weeks training because the training he had was on Audley Harrison.
So you think that Deontay Wilder could take Audley's best shot?
Yeah, I definitely think that. In spite, yeah, of course.
No, this is a real fight, you know.
Yeah. I'm sure they went at it harder. Yes, I definitely think so. Seriously, I know what you're saying.
Apollo,
Yeah. Go on.
what do you reckon? Do you want to add some sanity to the conversation?
Well, you know, I just think sparring and fighting is different, you know, because, it is difficult to gauge. You know, I've seen so many guys spar and so on. I'm not going to mention names, but it's, for example, because I've been to amateur gyms, like you watch, when you get like these young kids that will come in and spar someone, that you see them spar certain professional fighters, they'll hold their own. Like I said, I'll break it down slowly. They'll go in, and it's about an even spar. So then the kid comes out, and the kid's like, oh, I hold my own, I've done alright. But you're watching it, like me, because I've seen so many spars now, I'm quiet, I don't really like to get into anyone's head, but you're watching it, and you're like, come on, if only this kid knew how easy the professional, the other guy was going. But it's hard to gauge, really. I don't know how to, most spars, there's no point getting into detail. All I'm trying to say, sparring is just different from fighting. That's what I'll say, really.
So do you think Deontay Wilder could take Audley's best shot?
What, in a fight?
Yeah, in a real fight, as in the ring.
Probably not. I don't think he'll take his best shot. I don't think he's going to get hit with Audley's best shot. Audley didn't land anything on Hay, didn't land anything on Price. The punch he landed against Straw, that was an amazing punch. That was a devastating punch. But it was basically, I do not want to say what is a good word. It was a one-off. That is the best way I can describe it. It was a one-off in the closing seconds of the 12th round. I do not think Audley is going to throw his best shot. So Wilder has nothing to worry about. To just train, do his thing and land his own shots. That is what I believe.
Cool. I mean, I actually think he's got a lot to worry about. I don't think he can take a good shot from Audley. I mean, I've seen pictures of him getting dropped before. So, I mean, by worse opponents than him. I've seen that, one thing about Audley is he's got concussive power. I mean, the guys he's hit with his shot, they're like dazed and they don't know where they are. They're like, ooh, where am I? And then he finishes them off. He's done it in Prize Fighter. He'd done it then. I mean, let's say Deontay Wilder's not that good. Let's just suggest he's not that good. He could do it to him. I mean, Deontay Wilder's not a A-class boxer, in my opinion. I mean, Audley could take advantage of that. Maybe. I mean, we'll close it down to this point now. But I think the general consensus is this the general consensus? We expect Deontay Wilder to win within the first 6 rounds. Yeah? But none of us would be very surprised if he ended up getting sparked out.
Yeah. No.
I disagree.
That's
Errol, you go first.
No, that's exactly how I see it. I'm telling you.
Mm-hmm. So if we turned on the TV the next day and it was like, wow, Audley Harrison knocks unconscious Deontay Wilder, and he's lying there on the floor like this, and they had to drag him off towards the hospital. We would not be surprised about that. No. Significantly surprised.
No.
No, I would not be surprised about that. Yeah, but if in the same sentence, Audley Harrison doesn't make it out of the first 3 rounds, also I would not be surprised.
Yeah.
The only thing that would be surprising is if this fight goes a distance. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.